Could you explain to me briefly why Madden is so animation dependent, especially when we see these independent games? And I'm not sure that you've played them yet, but I'm sure you've seen them. Both of them, as an example, use a receiver's arm articulation to determine whether they're able to catch a ball. It can look crude, it can look very bad. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but it lends itself to realism because now whether the player is in a position to catch the ball completely impacts whether he can or not. One of the biggest issues we see in Madden is players that are not in the correct position being given an animation that allows them to be put into that spot. Is there a reason that you can give me or explain to me why we continue to see this same issue year after year after year, both on offense and defense?
Uh, I, you know, I'm trying to think of an answer that would satisfy you without like disparaging their tech or something like that. And it's like when you have a game that's like based on as many years of coding and legacy decisions as Madden is, it's sometimes really, really tough to dig yourself back out of certain problems. You basically would have to re-architect entire systems, and then everything that was based around that system would have to be reworked or massaged. And that's probably what it amounts to. And again, if you go back to it, like let's just take that concept of a ball traveling through the body or through the collision of a defender, even after we add physics to be caught because the system has determined a catch has to happen 21 frames out from the catch point so the guy can start his animation. You know, to invest in something that will allow the defender to interrupt that animation and branch it to a deflection and predict that all ahead of time. So all this stuff. It's a big investment and it's not marketable. It's again, it goes back to you can't market a bug fix. So the higher the cost and the bigger the scope of fixing a problem that can't be a back of box marketing feature tends to not get any emphasis in terms of resource investment.
So, in all honesty, then, how old is some of the code that we see in Madden
My
now?
guess is that most of it comes from the Ignite era, but I'm sure there's stuff in there. Probably nothing that goes past the 2006 game. What was the one with the RG3 cinematic? Anyway, there was one year where they had a really bad port, and that was the year when most of the code got purged and had to be rewritten. That's why they had a bad year, is that they just couldn't get it all back together in time. But everything after that is basically what you see today.